Live from Studio 46, this is CBS2 News This Morning.
Fireworks in the streets, in the skies, and at all hours, even used to attack a homeless man. What's being done to crack down on this exploding problem?
And New York voters head to the polls today to cast their ballots in the primaries. We'll take a look at some of the big races in our area. Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Wragge.
And I'm Mary Calvi. As we are back in the studio, it is nice to see you.
Good to see you for the first time since late March.
Welcome to CBS2 News This Morning. We will have a check on the day's top stories in just a moment. But first, how about we get you a check on the forecast? Here's Elise Finch. Good to see you, Elise.
Good to see you guys there together. So good morning to you both. And it is a good morning. It's a good warm morning leading to another hot afternoon. So let's get to it. Want to show you these starting temperatures. Much like what we had yesterday, we are looking at temperatures, the coolest of which is already at 60 degrees. That's for the Hamptons. The warmest 75 degrees in Central Park. So it's already quite chilly, quite warm out there. And we're on our way to hot. I mean, not a whole lot to look at your Skycast satellite and radar, but as you take a look at your day part forecast, I mean, well, it's a steamy one, much like what we had yesterday. So we start off nice and mild, right? It's a mild morning, pretty much from now, because it continuing on to noon. But by noon, we're already in the mid-80s. And then as we head to later this afternoon, we're expecting another 90-degree high temperature. We hit 90 degrees yesterday, expecting to hit 90 again today. And also, much like yesterday, we do have at least a chance to see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. A lot of that is going to be inland. But still, it's a possibility that we could see that in the city. So another hot one, get ready for it. And with that, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Elise, thank you. July 4th is still more than a week away, but the use of illegal fireworks has been spiraling dangerously out of control in the city. Yeah,
CBS 2's John Diaz is live in Lower Manhattan, where later this morning, the mayor is set to announce a multi-agency crackdown. John?
Yeah, good morning. And Mayor Bill de Blasio is saying that the recent excessive use of fireworks is unlike anything the city has ever seen before, saying that it appears to be happening in every single neighborhood in New York City, and it's worrisome.
This shocking video making the rounds on social media. It appears to show someone throwing an illegal firework on a sleeping homeless man around 4 o'clock Monday morning as he slept along Malcolm X Boulevard in Harlem. The 66-year-old suffered minor burns, and police are still looking for his attackers. Fireworks seem to be everywhere. Chopper 2 over Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Much the same in Washington Heights and in the Bronx. A constant booming night after night. The big question, why does it seem there is so much more going off weeks before the holiday?
It was like the sparkles, and they just went off, off, off. And I went, oh, are you kidding me? That was Tuesday. Wednesday night, then they're blowing off the big guys.
According to the NYPD, 911 calls for illegal fireworks are up more than 10 times the amounts from the same period last year, more than 13,000 to be exact. Mayor Bill de Blasio is now set to announce a multi-agency crackdown today on illegal fireworks suppliers.
Worried about it. I'm worried that someone's going to get hurt. Besides the fact it's a nuisance and quality of life problem, I'm really worried that some kid's going to get hurt or someone's going to set something on fire accidentally.
Last night, protesters, angry over the fireworks, lined the streets around the mayor's home, honking their horns.
We can't sleep. Mr. Mayor, you won't sleep.
And it's not just New York City. New Jersey is also getting an earful, and state police say it's become dangerous.
Save Our Forest Fire Service from that. They've responded to over 700 fires already. They are illegal and should only be done by those permitted professionals.
Giant blast at Rahman's Neck Monday, where police deliberately incinerated illegal fireworks. Smoke billowed into the sky and could be seen for miles. It could even be felt across the water on Coney Island.
It's scary. You think something, you think something monstrous is blowing up.
Got a lot of reports about shaking glass, shaking homes, car alarms going off.
Many here say they don't mind the fireworks, but why not wait until the 4th?
Not here. I'm sorry. You don't blow off a big display of beautiful fireworks now, especially at night. It was after 9 o'clock.
And New York banned the sale of fireworks back in 1909. In New Jersey, though, some fireworks are legal. We're live this morning from City Hall. John Diaz, CBS 2 News.
Okay, John, thank you. To campaign 2020 now, and it's primary day here in New York, and voters will cast their ballots in the Democratic presidential primary and several other races.
One is for the seat of longtime Congresswoman Nita Lowey, who is retiring. She's represented the 17th district, including Rockland County and parts of western Westchester. 7 Democratic candidates, including current State Senator David Carlucci and State Assemblyman David Buchwald, are vying for their party's nomination. On the Republican side, Maureen McCardle-Schulman and Yehuda Scottisfield are seeking the nomination.
Let's see. Freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is facing her first electoral challenge since her upset victory in the 2018 midterm election. Her district includes parts of the Bronx and north central Queens. Voters will decide whether she gets the Democratic nomination or if it goes to another political newcomer, former journalist Michelle Caruso Cabrera.
And there is a heated congressional primary in the Bronx and Westchester. Veteran Democratic Congressman Elliot Engel faces a challenge from former public school teacher Jamal Bowman. The 16th district stretches from Enowal houses in the Bronx to wealthier areas, including Riverdale and Pelham. The race represents a split in the party. Hillary Clinton has endorsed Engel. Bernie Sanders has endorsed Bowman. And voters will also cast ballots for the State Assembly and Senate. And in the Queensboro president's race, polls open at 6 this morning and close at 9 tonight.
Well, this morning, police are investigating an apparent murder-suicide on the Upper West Side. Now, the bodies of a 72-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman were found Monday night in a basement apartment on 87th Street near West End Avenue. The couple's son reportedly made the discovery. Investigators say it appears both were shot and that a gun was recovered on the scene.
A tragic discovery Monday in New Jersey. 3 people, including a child, found dead in a backyard pool.
Yeah, there are now fears that the victims may have been electrocuted. CBS 2's Jessica Layton has more from East Brunswick.
A man clearly overcome with pain and emotion is consoled outside a home on Clearview Road in East Brunswick, a home that was surrounded by police, ambulances, and new neighbors late into the evening Monday.
It's just terrible.
Chopper 2 shows the large above-ground swimming pool in the backyard where 3 people were found dead. A 62-year-old man, an 8-year-old girl, and her 32-year-old mom.
A neighbor heard screaming and dialed 911. All the deceased were taken out of the pool. CPR was done, and they were pronounced in the backyard.
But how they all died remains a mystery. Early word on the street was the members of this family neighbors were just getting to know somehow drowned.
It's above ground, it's not in ground. So I don't know how this happened.
3 people drowning in a pool seems very unusual.
But then an electrician showed up, raising more questions that the 3 were electrocuted.
The fact that they had an electrician's truck show up shortly thereafter, I mean, it wouldn't make sense that 3 people would just drown right away like that, if you got an adult there too.
No matter what, it's a tragedy that is felt deeply in this quiet neighborhood, now full of curiosity and concern for how this could happen.
Definitely a horrible incident.
There's no words for that family. It's very sad.
So the question remains, why was that electrician here last night for so many hours after this incident? We reached out to the county prosecutor's office to try to get some answers. So far, we've not heard back. We're in East Brunswick, New Jersey. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
Well, New York City is now in phase 2 on the road to reopening. That means that for the first time since March, restaurants, hair salons, barbers, and many businesses have welcomed back employees and customers. Things are different, though, with plastic dividers and social distancing in place. But New Yorkers say they were ready to get back.
It's been a long time being at home in an apartment.
3 months, I believe, maybe more.
It's been a long time in the house, so just coming out and just enjoying a little drink.
Subway ridership has also increased with more than 2 million people taking subways and buses. Pre-pandemic, those numbers are more than 7.5 million.
And as commuters return to work, New York Waterway is bringing back some ferry service. Beginning next Monday, June 29th, the company is adding modified service between Port Imperial and Midtown. Also Monday, the Hoboken NJ Transit Terminal and Brookfield Place Battery Park City route will resume running, as well as Belfort Middleton, with stops at Pier 11, Wall Street, Brookfield Place, Battery Park City, and Midtown. There are additional safety measures, including cleaning and sanitizing after every trip. Face coverings are mandatory for customers and employees, and there's a 50% capacity limit.
Well, in New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy says July 2nd will be the day indoor dining will be allowed at restaurants. That's the same day casinos will also get the green light to reopen, both at just 25% capacity. On Monday, hair salons and barbershops reopened. At Ray's Barber Pole in Ramsey, they sanitized the chairs and equipment between each customer. The staff wore PPE as customers wore masks and had their temperatures checked at the door. New Jersey nail salons and tattoo parlors also opened on Monday.
And coming up on CBS2 and CBSN New York, a drug used to treat coronavirus may soon be easier to take.
And protesters take aim at a historic statue in Washington, D.C. as they try to topple it over. We'll have those stories and more when we come back. Good morning and welcome back to CBS2 News this morning on this Tuesday, the 23rd of June. Going to be another hot one out there. If yesterday wasn't hot enough, today's a repeat performance. Let's get right to Elise Finch with a little bit more on your forecast this morning. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning to you, Chris, and you are right. So we are headed for another 90-degree day. In fact, we have a chance of hitting 90 degrees pretty much every day this week and into the weekend. So for those of you who are doing the countdown to summer, you were waiting, you were happy when summer arrived on Saturday. Hopefully you will enjoy this. So we're taking a look at temperatures this morning that now range from 59 degrees in Yaphank, so one of the coolest locations, but everybody else on this map ranging from the mid-60s to the mid-70s. We're already at 75 degrees in Central Park. I mean, we've got 70s for a number of locations, which basically just means it never really cooled down that much from yesterday's 90-degree temperature. As we take a look at your Skycast satellite and radar, I want to show you the setup for today. So we are taking a look at a couple of areas of low pressure and a cold front. So this area of low pressure that is offshore is subtropical depression number 4. Not really a big issue for us or anybody, because what happens is we are going to watch this cold front actually push its way east as it does sort of takes that low away from us. So for us, the big news is really the heat, the humidity, and the chance for pop-up showers and thunderstorms each afternoon, at least today and tomorrow, and then sort of returning at the end of the work week. I want to turn on your Futurecast and show you how things are sort of playing out today. So we do have a couple clouds in the mix, but as we head through the day, we do have mostly sunny skies, obviously warm and then hot, humid conditions. As we head into about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we do have a chance for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. We'll be isolated. It's not for everybody still. Much like what we had yesterday, we'll see some of those thunderstorms firing up. As we head into Wednesday, sort of more of the same, only we are likely to see a little bit more activity on Wednesday. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. We're likely to see some thunderstorm activity. And then again, as we head into your Wednesday afternoon, we are going to again see some showers and thunderstorms popping up across the tri-state area. As we head into Thursday, now this particular Futurecast model is showing a little bit more vigorous rain activity. I mean, it's fairly light for a good portion of the area, but still now saying Thursday will also, or could also be a wet day as well versus yesterday where it looked like Thursday was going to be fairly dry. So our chances for precipitation look like this. Today, about a 20% chance that we'll see any pop-up shower thunderstorm activity. Tomorrow, 40%. Thursday, 10%, even though that looked a little more vigorous. And then we're dry for Friday and Saturday. Today, the heat is on once again. We hit 90 degrees yesterday. We are looking to do it again today. So a hot and humid day with that slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. So get ready for that. Tonight, much like last night, doesn't really cool off much. We are going to see overnight temperatures in this city still will be in the 70s, 75 degrees. And then take a look at your 7-day forecast. You'll see these temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s pretty much each day through at least through Sunday. With that, I'll send it back to you.
All right, steamy week. Thanks so much, Elise. We'll check in with you in just a little bit. Tense scene last night in Washington as protesters gathered near the White House tried to tear down the statue of Andrew Jackson in Lafayette Square. They threw ropes around the bronze statue and climbed on top as they tried to topple it. The statue, which was commissioned in 1847, shows Jackson riding a horse that is reared on its hind legs. Police used barricades and pepper spray to clear away the crowd, and the statue remained on its pedestal.
Well, the New York State Attorney General is now questioning NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea about some recent controversies involving his officers.
The grilling comes as daily protests calling for police reform have entered their fourth week in the city. CBS 2's Allie Bauman has more.
Protesters make their way through Bed-Stuy Monday. This particular march, a celebration of black women.
It's also important for all of us to get together and talk and listen and find solutions.
And during it, the police commissioner was answering to the state attorney general for video of an arrest Sunday in the Rockaways.
Where do you want to be?
Police say they were initially called to the boardwalk for reports of men acting erratically, but one officer can be seen putting the only black man among them in an apparent chokehold while arresting him, even though chokeholds are banned, and just last week the city council voted to criminalize them.
You had 4 officers roughly engaged with 3 gentlemen on the boardwalk for probably 10 to 20 minutes, exercising extreme restraint. But at the end of that story, an officer put his hand around a person's neck.
The officer in question has been suspended without pay. The man being arrested was treated for cuts to his head.
This has been going on for years and years, and it's just now that people are waking up to the fact that this is something that has to change.
The state AG, Letitia James, is probing the NYPD's response to protests and grilled the commissioner about their tactics, such as this video from Brooklyn of 2 police cars driving into protests.
Well, you thought it was appropriate that the cars can be used to, I guess, clear a road or to mow down peaceful protesters.
I think that couldn't be further what you just described from an accurate reporting.
So how would you describe it?
You or anyone else, what would you do when you are set upon and your life is in danger?
Meantime, Mayor de Blasio said Monday the NYPD will increase car and foot patrols this summer in an attempt to reduce shootings, which there was an increase of over 300% last week compared to the year before, with a more than 400% increase in the number of people shot.
Job one is always to keep people safe. And we can do that while creating reform and creating a better NYPD and a fairer NYPD.
The mayor danced around how these added patrols will play into the city council seeking a $1 billion cut to the NYPD's $6 billion budget, which protesters want to see reinvested in community and youth services. The police commissioner also testified that about 400 officers have been attacked since protests began, but said fewer than 10 officers have been disciplined for their actions during the protests. From police headquarters in Lower Manhattan, Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Well, scientists say there is a new potential breakthrough in treating coronavirus. The American biopharmaceutical company Gilead Sciences is set to start trials of an inhalable version of remdesivir. That's the antiviral drug that has shown promise in early trials against coronavirus. Currently, remdesivir can only be administered through an IV, which restricts its use to hospital settings.
Well, Hollywood is remembering one of its greats, film director and writer Joel Schumacher. One of Schumacher's first big movies came back in 1985 with St. Elmo's Fire and then The Lost Boys in 1987. In the 90s, he also directed Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher died after a year-long battle with cancer. He was 80 years old.
All of NASCAR's drivers have rallied around Bubba Wallace. The NASCAR Cup Series.
NASCAR drivers and crews showed their support for Bubba Wallace Monday, the day after a noose was found in his garage stall at Talladega. They surrounded his car and escorted Wallace and his team owner, NASCAR legend Richard Petty, onto the track. Wallace is the only black driver currently racing in the Cup Series. He's been at the center of controversy after calling on NASCAR to ban Confederate flags at races, and NASCAR agreed, but those flags could still be seen Monday outside Talladega Super Speedway. The FBI and Department of Justice are now investigating the noose incident.
Well, it's 4:51 right now. Coming up, a delivery woman adds a little magic to her job.
Yeah, see what happened when a teenager made a special request with his online order. Welcome back to CBS 2 News. This morning, it is 4:54 right now. We've got some hot temperatures in the 70s already to get us started. Let's get a check on your forecast right now. Turn things over to Elise Finch. Hey, Elise.
Hey, Mary, good morning to you. And you are right. So we're already incredibly mild out the door this morning, heading to another hot afternoon. Now, hot for most. For some of our coastal locations, we'll see high temperatures today ranging from 75 to 85 degrees. So actually very comfortable. But as you head to New York City and inland, we are going to see some hot temps, upper 80s and low 90-degree temps. We are expecting to hit 90 degrees in Central Park today. So another hot one, but also humid. On the muggy meter, things are sort of climbing up toward that oppressive level. We're not there today, which is the good news, but certainly it's beyond comfortable. We'll be feeling it today. It will be a hot and sticky day today, again tomorrow, Thursday. The humidity will be down just a little bit, and we do have that ever-present chance to see some pop-up showers or thunderstorms. We certainly could use the rain. We do have a fairly significant rainfall deficit, 2.4 inches below where we should be, so hopefully we'll get a little rain with that. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, we could use it, that's for sure. All right, Elise, thank you. Well, Google Search and Google News already offer fast fact-checking services.
And now that is being extended to Google Images to point out fake and manipulated photos. Information from fact checkers will show up in some image search results. Users will see labels beneath pictures that have been flagged by third-party fact-checking organizations. The search giant is using a database that helped develop with Microsoft and a journalism research group at Duke University.
Well, a Chicago pizzeria has added a new item to the menu in an effort to help healthcare workers fighting the coronavirus. The ovens at Demos Pizza are still cranking out hot pies, but workers there are now using the same ovens to manufacture protective equipment.
So you've transitioned from pizza to also making what?
Also making face shields. People don't expect that from a pizza shop. Yeah, but like that's the old world. We're in the new world now, and that was what was needed.
All right, they're baking face shields using the pizza ovens. They first melt the acrylic, then mold it, add straps. After losing 70% of his store's revenue due to the shutdown, Demos owner says making these protective masks allowed him to keep 2 workers on the payroll that would have otherwise lost their jobs.
And if we can get a pizza with that,
good
that'll
move.
Be really
I'm down.
An Amazon delivery woman in Delaware is getting big kudos for following her delivery instructions to the T. Take a look. It turns out Lynn Staffiero ordered something on Amazon but didn't know that her 13-year-old son Jacob put a note in asking for special delivery instructions saying, knock on the door 3 times, scream abracadabra as loud as you can, and run super fast away. And that's exactly what happened. It was all caught on doorbell camera. The video has already been shared more than 20,000 times on Facebook.
That is definitely special instructions right there.
A lot more news still ahead, including Governor Murphy announcing when indoor dining will return to New Jersey.
Not soon enough, right? And illegal fireworks going off at all hours of the day and night. So what's being done to stop it? You're watching CBS 2 News this morning.